Hi, this is Reg Athwal, and welcome to another episode on our channel. For those who've been watching my previous episodes with our show theme, Millionaire Mistakes, this is episode 3. Before I talked about childhood, I talked about parents, because mistakes, sometimes linked to circumstances in your environment, but also there's certain things that happen in our younger years that do have an impact on us in our adult life, and especially around wealth creation and when we build our businesses. So today I really wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about your life partner, the person you end up marrying. Some cases, some people may have a long-term relationship but not carrying this marriage certificate around, but still are doing exactly the same as anybody else who is in a long-term relationship. So I'm not, I may mention the word marriage, but you don't have to be married with a certificate. So your life partner, whoever it may be, I think a key question would be when it comes to, from my past experiences and dealing with clients, millionaire mistakes, is choose your partner wisely. Um, I've been married now for 26 years, and it has not been easy. I would say in any relationship, every 6, 7, 8 years, there's always what we call a bit of a twitch, an itchy feeling underneath the collar. And what I mean by that is you've got to work on your relationship. It's not easy. The same way of how the relationship was the first couple of years of marriage. Um, you've got to go back to basics, date nights, appreciating each other, writing letters to each other, personalizing things, appreciating all the small things, and not annoying each other. And the more time that you spend with each other, you also realize that you know each person is built differently. And one of the things I've been talking about for many years, also in our published book with all the research that we did, was around the DNA model, and that was around understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are. So when it comes to marriage and a life partner, my advice would be to ideally be with someone who's not the same as you. If someone's the same as you, it's great because you get on with each other. There's an instant connection. You have a lot of things in common with each other. But later on in life, especially around wealth creation and building your business, you need the opposites. And it's good sometimes to have someone who uh, reins you back in. One person could be very good with investments and numbers, while another person or the other half could be very good with innovation or ideas, or one person could be very good with relationships and finds it easy to socialize and bring people together, while the other person may be more of an introvert but is good at planning, maybe a social event, a dinner, but the other person is very good at talking and connecting with all the people who are at the gathering. I'm just giving you some examples. So for those of you who've been on previous videos, you'll know about the DNA profiling model. If not very quickly, there's an innovator type profile. So in a marriage situation, is typically someone who's always coming up with ideas, quite fidgety, like starting things, not good at finishing things, can inspire you very quickly, but also keeps changing their mind. You've got a planner profile, which is meticulous with detail. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, everything has to be neat, OCD, a bit like me with my books behind me. You've got promoter profile, which is very good with marketing. They want to get involved in being in the public domain. Lockdown would drive these people absolutely mad. They need to be out there unless they have an online audience. You've got a connector profile, which is very much a carer, does things with their heart, remembers people's birthdays, introduces people, makes connections, very, very social. You've got a mentor that loves reading or loves knowledge, lectures, information, and likes to pass on that to other people. So they make very good coaches, teachers, trainers, and so on. You've got an operator profile, which is just ruthless with execution, delegates everything out to other people, but probably won't do anything themselves unless they have to. And very good at execution, getting things done, getting things finished and closed, and very good at dealing with chaos. You've got the negotiator profile, which is excellent at closing deals, transactions, buying and selling, especially if you're looking to maybe purchase a home together. buying a new car, getting involved in some sort of business deal, the negotiator will play a key part in that. The banker profile is great with numbers, especially when the money starts to come in. You've got to look at your inflow and your outflow. You've got to look at your profit and loss. You've got to look at your expenses on a daily basis. And that type of person is going to have substance in that area and know all the numbers with depth. But they can't make decisions for the long term, but they're very good at telling you how much is in the bank right now, what are our assets worth, where's the asset register, and what inflows are coming in the next 1 week, 1 month, and so on. And that's important because if you don't have that in a relationship, maybe you'll end up spending lots of money very, very quickly. A bit like the opposite would be a promoter profile that will have the money and go and buy that bright red Ferrari, while the banker profile could be going, well, hang on, you've done that, but you don't have enough cash flow coming in 2 or 3 months' time. And that person will say, don't worry about it. We'll find a way. And that can make a banker profile extremely nervous. And then finally, the ninth profile is the investor profile, which is typically somebody who likes to do their research, have data, they like depth, and they think of things for the long term, not short term. But they're really slow at making decisions. So you can imagine having someone like an innovator who's fast with making decisions, or a negotiator transactionally who wants to get things done really quickly. And you've got this investor who could be your other half, your life partner, who's saying, no, I don't have enough information to make a decision. I'm not sure. What do you think? And they can never make decisions. So hopefully I'm giving you a few things to think about. Reach out to us. Put some comments below. Reach out to us in our organization. Our details are in the channel profile. And we can tell you more about this and also maybe send you the PDF with some of the descriptions. And you can at least do your own self-assessment. But if you want to know more, happy to discuss this with your family business. But right now, it's important that you get grounded on what are your strengths and weaknesses. Are you the opposites? Because you need each other, but at the same time, the understanding has to be there of that the other person thinks differently, does things in a different way, and not the same way that you would do them. And that can take years sometimes. That can take people 10, 15, 20 years to realize that. Even after 25, 26 years of marriage, I'm still learning new things in my relationship. It doesn't stop. So one side is what I've discussed. Another area would be values. So for those of you not married right now, looking to get into a relationship, maybe you're dating right now, thinking, is this the person? Is this the right person for me? You've got to really be clear on what each other's values are. See, your version of respect could be different to your partner's version of respect. For you, it could be communicating with each other every day. For the other person, it could be caring for each other. What about money? What are your values and your blueprint around money? One person could be a risk taker, doesn't like to plan things, just goes for it, experiments a lot, while the other person has to have a plan in detail. They need to know the numbers in depth. So again, with values, depending on your upbringing, if you watch the other episodes, could have an impact on two people coming together. And are their values aligned? You can have different strengths and weaknesses, but if your values are aligned of your version of prosperity and money and wealth creation, building your business in the future together, and not making stupid mistakes, you need alignment of what that could look like. So this would be the second thing I wanted to leave you with. And three is just make sure that if you're working together in a family business environment, job roles are clearly defined. If you have a family issue, don't bring it into the business. And if you have a business issue, don't bring it into the family side. You've got to have some ground rules. With a lot of family businesses we deal with, we talk about a code of conduct, some sort of charter, and you need some basic ground rules to say, okay, if we're going to have dinner, we're not going to talk about business. We're going to talk about other aspects of our life. There's got to be a switch off. Or if you've got an issue on the business side, when we're at home together, we're not going to bring it up, because it's very easy to snap or assume things or say things to our partner in a way that we wouldn't do with maybe our employees or other people in our organization. We can take our partner for granted sometimes. So it's important that you have that distinction between family and business, create that space for each other. And for those of you in a toxic relationship right now, people talk about divorce and, we don't want to go there. But, sometimes the last piece I want to leave you with is in terms of mindset and attitude. Your values can be aligned. Strengths and weaknesses are clear. You're clear on your job roles. But for some reason, things are still not working out. And that could mean, for me, one of two things. There could be something much deeper going on for each person. Hence, some people have counseling or therapy. There could be emotional blockages with one of the people in the relationship that needs to be looked at. And if they can have that breakthrough with a coach or a counselor, that could hopefully improve their relationship. And my view is that that's worth doing. Going straight into a divorce situation because it's toxic may not be the best choice initially. Maybe having some coaching, counseling, having some therapy could be good. Maybe having a separation for a period of time, 3, 6, 9, even 12 months of living apart, could rekindle why you got together in the first place and that chemistry, and hopefully you could rebuild and make a decision maybe to come back together again. In other cases, that separation has led to a major decision being made that this relationship is definitely not going to work. And there's no point just carrying on for the sake of other things that could be going on in your home or external environment. Maybe it's to do with children, maybe it's to do with business partners, other people, extended family. You've got to make your own decision of what's right. And really nobody, I think, can dictate that. But when it comes to these things, if you're in a toxic relationship, for me, the biggest one would be, two qualifiers. One, does this person energize you? Are they bringing energy to the relationship? You've got to feel good. Ultimately, if you're going to make a relationship work and not make mistakes that could affect your business and your wealth creation, you've got to make sure that from this toxic situation that there's energy. There's energy. You feel good. That's the only way I can describe it. You just feel good. That person makes you feel good. If that person doesn't make you feel good on a consistent basis, I'm not talking about for a day or maybe a week or even a couple of weeks because an argument may have happened and you haven't resolved things and you're growing together, okay? You're learning about each other. I'm talking about something that carries on for months or even years. If it's toxic, if it's not giving you energy, you have to consider an exit. I'm sorry, there's 7.7 billion people on a planet, good distribution of male and female human beings around the world. I'm sure if your relationship is toxic, it's not giving you the right energy, you've worked on everything that you can to try and make it work. Sometimes an exit, a departure, a divorce, a separation is going to be the only way, allowing you to now move into a new relationship because there is 7.7 billion people on the planet. I'm sure there's someone that you're compatible with all the other things I've mentioned in this video. Having said that, if you don't resolve things in your current relationship and do separate or divorce and move into a new relationship in the future, you could be taking the same baggage into a new relationship. Which is why there is a pattern of people who get divorced, get married again, get divorced, get married, get divorced again. You hear the stories of 3 or 4 relationships that have fallen apart because there was no learning. There was no self-image there. There was no self-reflection to look in the mirror to go, right, what role did I play in that relationship? It's easy for us to get angry or blame someone else and think it's not me. But in reality, we have to look in the mirror sometimes and say, hang on, I played a part in this. Was it my tone and tempo? Was it interrupting the other person? Was it not listening to them? Maybe there was a lack of intimacy, didn't want to be touched, wasn't feeling appreciated, wasn't being recognized for how I'm contributing to this relationship. There could be many things. The last one for me is the highest on the list, which is all about attitude. Energy is one thing, but a subcomponent of energy would be someone's mindset. So if someone's moaning and groaning and bitching, the world is just, it's all negative. And that's what they're bringing to your relationship and your family business, your enterprise, your family firm. I'm sorry, you are going to end up making mistakes and you will sabotage your success eventually. Now, it's different to moaning and groaning and bitching and being negative is different to the strengths and weaknesses that I discussed earlier. So you could have someone who's the opposite to you, has different views, has different opinions, okay, of how fast or slow to go, about saving money, about investing, about what risks to take. That could be there. But I'm talking about in the inner circle of their attitude and what that's made up of. So hopefully I've got you to think of a few things. If you enjoyed the content, hit the subscribe button, please. Leave your comments, like the video. Helps us with our algorithm to reach more people, and share it if you feel that there's other family members or even your life partner right now, the person that you're with, person married to, maybe needs to see the video and you can share it. So thanks very much for watching. Bye for now, and we'll get on to our next Millionaire Mistakes episode next week. So please do come back. Bye for now.